And they will, naturally, they take the AM for themselves now. So you ask yourself the question, what are LGD going to do about this AM?
Hmm. Like what especially with the way that God King likes to build it, right? You've seen him we've talked about his unique builds a little bit. He goes the Sergeant Yasha into a Vlad's, and then he builds, things that are more team
10
fight
seconds
oriented. He
remaining.
breaks it down into a halberd and a manta style, but if you
5
can maybe
seconds
pick up
remaining.
something that can force him into going manta a little bit sooner, maybe some silence, some additional stuns, some root, then it might work to be able to curb a lot of that. I don't even want to say it's greedy because the way that he's farming is really efficient and it opens up a lot of the map for the rest of his team to
Radiant
make plays.
team
But I
ban.
just think you need to force him to make a difficult decision.
I guess one thing you could do if you're LGD is just try and set a pace and a tempo they can't really keep up with on that AM. And a Monkey King's one of those heroes, it doesn't really need anything to be very, very effective.
Mm.
Of course, if you let it go past that, I don't know, 30-minute mark, then you know what God King's going to be like. He's basically six-slotted by that point, and SAG, they respond with a Chen now.
This is some speed. I mean, you talk about these things that can come online sooner. Chen is probably one of the best.
Mm.
It's you can get what you need by the 12-minute mark and be pretty happy. You don't even need boots. You can just go first item mechanism, and as soon as you've got mech,
10 seconds
Hand of
remaining.
God. I mean, if you're level 7 for that full 4 points in the Divine
5
Favor, you're laughing.
seconds remaining.
Mm.
So, yeah, I think that's a really good response. And, even if God King is wanting to be, again, farming on this side of the map, you've always got the potential to just call him in with that Divine Favor. Just relocate him to your side of the map and then suddenly turn a advantageous fight into a really advantageous one where you can take a tower and then he just TPs back to the other side of the map.
And with this Chen as well, they might start lane switching that because we do see that a lot, especially in the Chinese region. They tend to just switch lanes over and over again to get that preferred lane. Now, I don't necessarily know if it's going to happen this game, but with the Chen, you always have that advantage being able to recall somebody instead of committing a TP.
Mm.
And so if you do find yourself in that scenario where, say, God King says, I want to switch down to the bot lane, you can do that, and generally speaking, you will kind of win that little battle of switching lanes out.
Hmm.
But I suppose we'll see if that's how it amounts to. LGD. Their fourth pickup, they've been thinking about it for a very, very long time.
Radiant team ban.
And they'll respond with the Batrider.
It's okay. I was a little concerned about like what does a Batrider traditionally build into, right? That's what you need to think about. You've got your boots of travel, you've got your force staff, and you've got your blink dagger, and I guess maybe your drums. Those are the key things. What does that do to stop an
10
anti-mage?
seconds remaining.
Nothing really.
Right.
You've got the lasso, of course, but if you're on
5
point, you can just
seconds
counterspell that
remaining.
and blink away. You've got the stun coming out from the Monkey King, and then of course, FY, he's got a good amount of lockdown. But to be able to get in the right position, it takes a while, and I don't think God King's anti-mage is going to be in the wrong position too many times. Maybe once, maybe twice, but more than that, I would be really surprised. I was expecting something like, I don't know, a Nature's Prophet or something along those lines that can maybe build into an Orchid, catch him out at the wrong time, and then you follow up with something like a Monkey King or an Earthshaker that's rotating through at the same time with you.
Right. It's going to be tough, that's for sure. Like, LGD, they must be feeling confident enough with this Batrider to go down this route, but it is definitely going to be hard to catch this AM out. We'll see what they do with their last pick, though. Somnus could be playing the Monkey King, but I still think that he's probably missing a hero here.
Mm.
I wonder what they give to him, because you saw that DK matchup he just had. Obviously, up against the Viper, there's not much he can do. It's just a complete kind of counter towards that DK, and I just wonder what they're going to give Somnus now to be able to really help his team out, unlike game number one.
And he doesn't have that last pick either. That's the big issue as well. You can always be countered with this last pick. That it's the DD mid lane that you're going to be coming up against. So
Mm.
it's a little bit concerning. And the fact that you've only got 6 seconds of reserve time too, it definitely puts you on the clock. They banned out some of his more comfort heroes in the Ember Spirit, the Queen of Pain, and now the Lena. So
Radiant
it's
team ban.
clearly a big Somnus focus, and it's an Ursa actually that's coming out here. So, all right, Monkey King probably going to be mid. Ursa probably going to be laning into that. And why not, you know?
Well, they banned out DD's Storm, which he's really good on that Storm. So they get rid of that. They respect ban it. They don't want to have to play against it. But you always knew the Viper was still there. I think it's definitely maybe a better matchup than the DK was, sort of, for the Monkey King. Slightly
Kind of,
better.
sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can... I don't know. It's going to be rough regardless. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if FY, instead of Fissure blocking his lane, tried to do it for mid. Just so that you can at least get that first wave of experience guaranteed into you. You know, fight underneath your tower and perhaps get the more advantageous trades, pull it back a little bit behind the tower, just disrupt the creep equilibrium in that way.
I wouldn't be surprised either. You'd love to see it from FY, but we'll see what kind of decision they make in regards to that. We'll be getting into this game number 2 very soon. Of course, SAG 1 game away from proceeding through the lower bracket to the lower bracket finals. LGD, well, they need to win this game, otherwise they are out of the Beyond Epic League in its entirety. And of course, if you are still watching here, we are going to have a series straight after this. VG Gaming vs Raw Never Give Up is coming after this series is over. And that should be another exciting matchup to see who does go through to the grand final of the Beyond Epic League, which we'll be doing tomorrow. Should be a lot of fun.
Should be hype. So I'll ask you again. Game number 2, based off the draft. Who are you going for?
You know, I love the fact that you've switched the tables on me here, because I'm usually the one that asks you these questions.
You know, you can never know what to expect here.
Okay, well look, I can't doubt the God King AM. I can't do it, because I'm going to look like a complete idiot. But then again, I don't know if I can doubt FY's Earthshaker. So I don't know what to say. I don't know what the answer is here.
You said the same thing about his Rubik, just gonna say.
That's very true, very true. Alright, I'm going to say SAG purely because God King's on AM.
I'm going to say SAG as well. That is a factor, but it's not everything. Again, like, they've got the early aggression. You know, you don't need too many items with this Mars and with the Viper to really be a factor. I feel like this Rubik directly counters the Earthshaker, so that's great. Viper, I mean, what can you really do as a Monkey King or an Ursa? I think he's going to be smart enough not to use the Viper Strike onto Ursa. I think Monkey King is much more worthwhile to get that onto, and then you just run away. I suppose the one thing that they don't have is an easy way to escape from Wukong's command. That is the one thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, but you know, worst case scenario, you might be able to, if you haven't already, drop the Arena of Blood and then just run away.
All we want in the end is a close game regardless of who wins anyway, right? Like, as long as the game's hype, as long as it's fun, who cares which team wins? It's all we want. And it's going to be a rather passive opening, of course. Both teams are going to secure both the top and bot bounty runes, 2 for 2 each. Or maybe not. Chalice will jump in and does steal one away. So a nice 3-1 start on the back of Chalice there on that Ursa. SAG, I'm sure they won't care too much. They'll just get into their laning stage and get that started, and we'll see how it all pans out.
He gets extra style points for the little front flip, and he's wearing the Alpine Ursa set as well, so some good respect there for Chalice.
You like these cowboy things, don't you? These cowboy hats.
Yeah, why not? It looks pretty snazzy.
It does look pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. It is, you know, a bit out of character, but
ooh, look at this. So they've actually thrown Old 11 mid. I think you have to, right? Because you're coming up against this Viper.
That is true. So Old 11 on that Batrider is not going to have too much of a tough time up against DD's Viper. That basically guarantees that Somnus should have a much better time. And speaking of, he's got the Jingu Mastery proc onto Red Panda. He won't be able to chase him down, but now they'll go on to God King and just try to provide some harassment out onto that AM. You'd make the argument now, even for God King, this is going to be a much more difficult lane than he had last game.
Yeah, I agree. And you saw with the Jingu Mastery, you could have very well just continued to chase up onto this Chen. A rare occurrence of a slightly off Fissure coming through there from FY. But you saw there, like, as soon as he got the Jingu Mastery with the bonus damage, he didn't go for the kill, he just went straight for God King and got a couple of right clicks in onto him. Forced him to use a little bit more of that regen and burn some of his net worth in that way.
I love it. Because Red Panda's going to stick around there and make sure he remains safe. Meanwhile, FY is going to rotate through to the mid lane and get a nice D-ward off already in that mid lane. And looks like he'll run his way back down towards that bot. In fact, no.
They saw him place that, though.
Okay.
So that's an easy D-ward and a nice little bit of extra gold coming DD's way if he ferries out a sentry to himself.
Absolutely. Still, is FY actually going to go and try to go for a very early gank attempt here on this Viper? I mean, it could be done with enough sticky napalm stacks for sure, but not going to be that easy.
It's moving forward a little bit, but yeah, I'm liking the way DD's playing this. Just tossing out that nether toxin, making sure that he's not in too bad of a position, and even being able to secure the last hit onto the range creep. So, a bit surprised that All 11 didn't go for the deny onto that one.
Yeah. He's very, very set on trying to go for the kill.
Courier.
FY. Yeah, he's going to find AM's Courier here. And yeah, won't make it. He does get the Wraithband recipe and the Circlet. And now great fish around. Somnus just going to take the kill for himself. A very nice fish round from FY. And this is the real scare when he's playing that Earthshaker. He can really set up kills that easily. Of course, OP God right now at the top lane was being chased down a little bit there from Chalice, but he'll be okay. Felix was just around the corner, just in case he needed the help. But Chalice is still enjoying himself enough on this Ursa so far, as he's actually somewhat behind the Mars. Well, not anymore. He does take over in CS, but
they're neck and neck on net worth.
Yeah. Lift up from Felix, puts him on the cliff, but of course he can jump down. Nice.
Just burn a little bit of his mana, you know.
Yeah, why not? It's a scary thing about this Mars from OP God as well. Like, they really do prioritize giving in the Mars whenever they can. And it makes it very, very hard for the opposing team, because it's these very, very strong picks they can go for that you can't always ban out, like the AM, like the Mars. Even now, Chalice, he can't get that aggressive because he knows OP God is just probably going to spear him away every time. And X-Nova can't really sit there and support him too long because he's going to make sure the other lanes aren't getting screwed over too hard. But he'll come back towards that top lane, and yeah, he's going to try and pull. It's like Felix will just block him off there.
Again, it's just this mentality of everyone protect God King. He's even been able to get the Ogre Frost Mage, get a little bit of extra armor onto him so that he could more easily contest these camps.
This is nice. God King, he's trying to fight Somnus, but Somnus is going to get the Jingu Mastery off the back of that Fisher. Still, top lane Chalice will end up going down. OP God able to secure the kill there with Felix. X-Nova seemingly unable to help.
Yeah, dropping so low there, but with coming up against a Shadow Demon, you're always going to have plenty of magic stick stacks, so able to play on the edge there was Felix and get away with a kill.
Well, he might die now, though. Yeah, X-Nova should have enough with one more poison, and there it is. Does get the trade at least, but it's definitely not going to feel nice losing that POS 1 Ursa for now. And he's just going to hang around the triangle for a bit, to secure a bounty rune or two.
No, I think he's giving it to Old 11. He's pinging it out saying, dude, you come and grab it.
And Old 11's going to pop the Firefly and make his way there. Nice little play there from X-Nova. Means DD won't be able to bottle that up himself. But DD's having a great old time regardless. I don't think he minds not being able to bottle that up. It's not really like he's lacking mana or HP right now on that Viper. He is perfectly fine to just wait for the next power rune. In fact, he's being called somewhere. It is going to be down to the bot lane where they're going to go after Somnus. Viper Strike is out. Somnus going to be in huge trouble with that Nether Toxin on top. And God King will secure the kill. Red Panda, meanwhile, does also get the Courier of Somnus.
Ooh, that ain't good. That ain't good at all. I mean, you talk about what you don't want to happen is give the God King any sort of room to breathe now. And now he's been able to get that kill. He can farm up a wave. He's going to be able to secure this siege camp. And we talk about the effectiveness of that Divine Favor. We've got DD who's able to just TP straight back to the mid lane and not lose out at all on farm.
You gotta love that. DD now, he's just gonna keep doing what he does best. Farming up and making space. SAG up at the top lane has been rather quiet as of late as well, but OP God's probably just waiting for that level 6 mark on the Mars before he can start getting aggressive again. Even just trying to really annoy Chalice with that Spear and secure some more CS on that Mars. Chalice, he tries to fight back with the Earthshock, but OP God's just always ready with the God's Rebuke to push him back a little bit. And you've always just got that Rubik in the background waiting. Felix hasn't left the lane. He's more than willing to just stick around. In fact, as I say that, he is going to TP down towards the mid lane now on that Rubik and just farm up a bit there and secure some XP and farm for himself. DD just going to be able to jungle instead.
You're always a little bit worried when you see the support TP to mid. He's like, why is DD not there? You know, what's he doing? But this time around, he's just going to secure these stacks, particularly before Old 11's trying to contest them like he's making a move to now, but he doesn't have the Firefly, so there's not really all too much he can do other than soak some of this experience.
Now 3 up at top lane. Arena going to be dropped. Chalice, he was still around the area, and God King does come in and just Mana Void takes the kill, though there is going to be a lasso out. Old 11, he's been Viper Strike. He's in trouble. He does get the kill, but it's probably going to cost him his life. OP, what a spear coming out. Oh, this man should be part of the Olympics with the way he's throwing that javelin. It's ridiculous.
Javelin master.
LGD, I mean, at least they get the Viper kill, but I don't think DD's going to mind too much.
No, I mean, it's just, again, about feeding through kills onto God King, enabling him. This time around, it's a bit different. You know, at this stage of the game last time, I think he was about 1,000 net worth ahead of anyone else. He's sitting pretty level with most people, and I mean, the big win for LGD has to come from the fact that Somnus is actually leading the charge despite being forced into that offlane.
Even FY now just taking the mid lane as that Earthshaker. He hasn't been able to do much on this Earthshaker quite yet. Just trying to secure that Blink Dagger up as soon as possible. Bot lane, OP God, he's going to be in trouble. They just rotate 3 heroes down and dive him underneath that tier 1 tower. And they are going to let OP God go down. In fact, yeah, Felix, he does get caught out. Great disruption for Next Nova. Felix is going to die as well. And nobody was able to come in and help, apparently, from SAG. They just let him go down.
Yeah, I think it's a very different fight if you've got the Arena of Blood available, but it had about 15 seconds on cooldown, so just not able to take that fight just yet. And yeah, I mean, some little wins going LGD's way. Have we got both outpost controls so far? So we can see aggressive movements perhaps happening from Red Panda and DD towards the Dire side.
You'd hope so. I mean, we saw them lose that 10-minute outpost last game, I believe it was, and well, they didn't seem to really mind that time either, but we'll see if they make the play now. Red Panda, he'll make his way up towards the opposing outpost. There are heroes coming in. FY should...
He used his Fisher in the mid lane, unfortunately, so not able to disrupt it.
Old 11, going to be able to claim the kill anyway, but it's not really what they wanted on LGD's side. The Red Panda will be happy to die for that kind of cause. Of course, meanwhile, God King is still just farming in the offlane as the AM and slowly working his way up towards that Battle Fury.
Getting a few of those key items. That's the great thing about, I'm going to call it the new Battle Fury, but it's been around for a few months now. But the broadsword, being able to build into it, it's 16 additional damage that you didn't have. So it just makes it a much smoother transition. You're not needing to save so much to risk losing gold if you do end up dying. And I feel like it's just a faster build-up overall.
It does feel very nice. Of course, Chalice will be doing the exact same thing on his Ursa. Just going for the similar build of the Battle Fury that we see quite a lot these days. And well, SAG, they're not going to mind. They'll start forcing in that top tier 1 tower. It's a bit more of a slow process, but they'll get it done eventually.
This is something that's a little bit out of the ordinary. Normally it would be the other 4 heroes from Sparking Arrow that did this, meanwhile trying to make space for the anti-mage. But I think just realizing the state that this game's been in so far and saying, look, we just need this tower gone to open up this area of the map to give God King a little bit of additional space to farm in. And you can see he just goes straight to that small camp. Feeling a lot safer now.
Absolutely. Somnus as well, still just hanging around that bot lane, trying to get that Echo Saber up on the Monkey King. He's been doing quite decently in terms of farm. Currently him and of course Old 11 leading the net worth board. Still yet to get a bit aggressive here from the side of LGD. They're just biding their time, it seems. But perhaps once FY's got the blink up, which is going to be very, very soon, you might start seeing those plays being made here from the side of LGD. He's only about 200 gold off now of that blink on the Earthshaker.
It's a very quick timing, and well, he's even been able to take some of these stacks. So another big win coming for LGD. You've got still about 700 or so gold away from the mechanism on Red Panda, so it's not like they've got the immediate turnaround potential. He's hitting up onto that level 7, so that's nice. He's going to be able to... that Holy Persuasion leveled up, perhaps. Get one of those real big creeps.
He should be able to. Still just needs a camp to farm, though, to get that 7, but he might just go mid instead. Meanwhile, DD just picking up that 4 stuff now on the Viper as well. They're going to smoke up with that. That's into the blink.
Feeling that they can get a kill now that, you know, you've at least got the Hand of God available. You've got this level 7 on the Rubik, so if you're able to steal something like a Fisher, big turnaround potential there, but not going to run into anyone.
They might. No, they won't. They ran south, and SAG, I guess, just going to secure this part of the jungle for a bit. Still giving the AM plenty of space to farm. God King's doing just fine. I wonder if LGD now... No, they do. They smoke up straight away. As soon as FY does have the blink up, it's time to go, but nobody's going to be up towards that top lane farming, which was what they were hoping for. And so this initial smoke with the blink is not going to pan out to anything.
And it feels like this time around, LGD's draft, it's much more about that area control style that Sparking Arrow had in game number 1. You know, you want to be able to fight in small areas with this Earthshaker. Of course, Bat Rider, you can just lay down the fire and force them to fight over it. You've got a Monkey King who has got the Wukong's command, and then of course, Ursa's the one that benefits from all of that. You know, enclosed spaces, just able to whack away. Whereas really, all you've got right now is the Mars ultimate, and not much else, you know. It's forced DD into going into this 4 stuff early on.
Here we go, they were patient. God King, he's been caught out. Old 11 gets the lasso.
That's it, that's what that pressure does.
They were waiting so long for that. And FY finally got his opportunity to jump in for the Echo.
Good blink reveal.
Definitely was. And SAG now, perhaps just not expecting it to be up that quick. Have to be a little bit more careful about their positioning on that AM. LGD still holding that net worth lead, looking good. Everything going their way so far. They're on track to make this game number 2 theirs.
You can see they're trying to make these aggressive plays, realizing, you know, we can clump up a little bit now that the Echo Slam has been used. We want to take this mid-tier 1 tower and push you back into a bit more of a defensive spot. We don't want you to be easily able to take that Roshan. You've got the Ursa, so you can do it. Just missing with the spear on OP God.
Arena gonna be there though. FY's been caught. OP, no spear to throw though, so it's gonna be a bit hard to kill him off. And now another nice Fisher coming out from the Rubik. Disruption is there on FY. Now the Purge is out, but the heals come in. FY blinks out of there. Now the Wukong's command as well. Does catch 2 of them. Can they take him out? They can. OP and DD both going down. And now poor old Red Panda will also be chased down, but a great Fisher out once again. It is not gonna save him though. LGD, I mean, I was just saying they were looking good. Now they're looking really good. In fact, Old 11's not even done yet. However, he gets lifted up. He does have the lasso. FY coming in, gets the Fisher off. They need help if they want to go for that lasso. OP wants to go back in with God King. However, here comes Somnus coming in with that Jingu Mastery. God King has the blink up in a second, and they could not get in range for the lasso. In fact, they had no mana anyway.
A little surprised he didn't just mana void Old 11 there, but not thinking that it was going to do enough to kill just yet. I think he might have been like 100 health away, but a right click after that with a mini stun would have been possible.
Oh, Old 11 has been caught out. Viper strike out. Got Old 11 just going to try and deny himself, I believe, but no. He'll be dead. And SAG, it's straight back into that mid lane to try and secure that mid tier 1 tower. They'll glyph it up.
This time.
Echo's up though.
Echo, yeah. He's not around though. But it just goes to show that power of area control, right? Like, they were diving past the tier 1 tower. You can get pincered in from either side, well, 3 different sides actually, and you know, every single one of those abilities was used to maximum effect. Firefly, the Wukong's command especially, and there wasn't really anywhere that Sparking Arrow could run.
That there wasn't. This is one of the slower timings as well for God King on that Battle Fury. It's still decent for sure, but they definitely slowed him down quite appropriately, and now FY is looking at God King again up at that top lane, asking for TP rotations, and they are coming in. God King just blinking now. There's a Fisher coming out. Meanwhile, OP God going to be in trouble. He'll drop the arena. Another great Fisher out from Felix, and now they'll try and turn this OP. Well, rather Echo is out from FY. God King still in trouble. He'll blink out of there. The counterspell was amazing. Now Old 11 being chased down. Will probably die by DD as well. SAG just bringing everybody in to make sure this AM survives. And I've got to tell you, Danog, Felix's Fishers have been really on point this game.
You talk about that direct counter, it's the Rubik, you know? There's the instant cast time as well, or close enough to it. I suppose the only thing that LGD can take out of that is the fact that, you know, the Monkey King wasn't there. It was a 5-man fight for Sparking Arrow, and Somnus, he's able to continue to extend this lead. He realizes that they're going to be wanting to fight shortly on Sparking Arrow, and the difference this time around is that they're actually going to have the net worth lead to be able to say, you know what, you want to fight into us? We're more than glad to. Going into an early BKB after picking up that Echo Saber, it's going to give him all that he needs to be able to fight.
The same thing's happening with the Ursa as well. Just 2 BKBs coming up, and I do love seeing that from LGD. God King, he'll just keep farming towards that Yasha now. Rest of SAG feeling like they might be a little bit behind here. Just trying to secure some safe farm in that triangle, but Somnus has been set up now to go after God King. He just needs some help. It looks like he'll just commit the Boundless Strike and jump away. But even that Boundless just denies him from farming that area.
Yeah. Feels like it's been all that they've been worried about, you know, in recent times. What if they... have they got a smoke here available on Sparking Arrow? It feels like, yeah, on the Mars they do. They pop it when they're all together, so making an aggressive movement.
They'll go into that mid lane. They'll see Old 11. And can they get the lift? Well, yeah, they definitely can with that Aether Lens. Although the spear! Oh, that was unlucky. That was really, really unlucky. I think if he was like half a second later, he would have got him on the wall, but that's unlucky.
There's still that establishing time of the wall, so again, LGD, they can breathe a sigh of relief and able to continue farming. Even Old 11, you know, he's finished up that BKB for himself, so there's some item timings that LGD are waiting for, maybe even wanting to fight around these outposts, make sure that they retain them, because once again, there's only 15 seconds left and they hold both of them.
Can they do it though? SAG, they're going to start running towards the north, but no, there's no way.
Yeah, it's too late.
LGD just doing such a great job this game. We'll smoke up again.
Victories.
LGD trying to maybe wrap around to that mid lane. They'll... No, probably they're in their triangle right now, but I guess just seeing the fact that SAG aren't in their own jungle makes them happy. They got some deep wards out as well while they're here, and well, with this, Somnus, he's got his BKB up. He's going to try and set up for that tier 2 tower.
Why not, you know? Old 11's able to cut the wave nice and easily. You've got uninterrupted damage onto this. No Cardi just yet, but it's coming in the next wave.
Nice.
So, well, Old 11, yeah, he just drags them through.
It's a way to do it. No glyph. That glyph is very, very early.
Yeah. Not going to disrupt this wave. Cardi's still alive, so bit of a misplay coming through there from Sparking Arrow, but you can just feel that they're, I don't want to say panicked, but they're a little bit on the back foot as opposed to how they traditionally expect games to go. But now BKB up on the Ursa as well. 3 BKBs on LGD's side so far, and even FY, he's already got the Ogre Axe. Not quite sure if he's going to go into another BKB for himself, or if it's something like an Axe even.
Why not? More BKBs the better, I always say. Old 11, Firefly up, trying to find his next victim, and it might be Red Panda. In fact, it should be. They know he's there. Primal Spring in, and well, they won't need the lasso for this. Red Panda is just going to die very easily. And they're straight into that Roshan pit, knowing they've got that one hero advantage. I don't believe that SAG can actually fight this.
No. They like we were saying before, they don't have area control. That's their big issue. Mars is in, and he's not in a position to be able to take this fight. He still wants his BKB, but the way the early game has gone means that LGD, they're just out-leveling, more net worth. It's looking like a really solid game for them.
That it is. See if they can just keep this up. You're still looking at God King. He's going after that S and Y now. The timing is just so much later than he usually gets it. And LGD, knowing this, are going to start pressuring that mid-tier 1 tower. Again, they just can't fight back, especially into a DD Ursa.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You can tell, like, normally, based off how the laning stage would go, he would feel very confident just to, you know, blink into that wave, farm it up, then go back to the jungle, but he's just as a bit of a loss what to do. Red Panda's going to die again. Oh,
Yeah, he will. And now Echo being committed by FY. It's going to be onto OP God, and they're happy to commit this if it means they're going to get the kill. OP has to commit Arena if he wants to survive this, but there's probably no point. He'd probably die anyway. And LGD continuing this really quick tempo. They're not going to give any space back up towards that top lane where God King is spotted.
even TP's coming through. FY, his job is just to chase down this God King, make sure he's not going to be able to farm. I don't think he's in a position to turn around on him. I suppose he's a little low on mana here on FY, so he needs to be a little bit careful.
That he does.
They would be mindful of the fact that he doesn't have a TP scroll himself. Just had them delivered out to him, so not going to be in no man's land.
Do you think there's a point where the AM just becomes uncontrollable though? Like if this game just keeps going on, it gets to the point where the AM just starts splitting the map a lot. It makes it impossible for you to go high ground.
I guess, but you're also considering the fact that, like, I don't think the game is going to go on that long. You know, Monkey
Right.
King, he's 600 gold away from finishing up an MKB for himself. You've got a Basher into an Abyssal, you would assume, queued up for Chalice. So, I mean, Abyssal is another great way to be able to control AM. You know, they're lacking a little bit in their ordinary spells, but itemization that you can use from this early net worth advantage is going to be able to outdo that.
Another
Just able
smoke.
to TP away. Red Panda's going to die again, though.
Yeah, poor guy. He'll just have to tank the gank here for the team. You're going to be okay with knowing that your cores got out of there before this happened. And well, top lane, they might... Oh, it's actually Chalice making the play here onto OP God. He drops the arena to try and get out of here, but he's going nowhere. He just stands and man fights, and it does not work out in his favor.
Is under attack.
And SAG just one by one falling apart right now. Bot lane, they see God King, they start TPing again.
He's making some decent space for his team, you know. It stops a lot of this aggression that's happening on this top side of the map. Now the pings are coming out to defend this tower. Maybe they can make a turnaround happen, but... Oh, all 11.
He gets caught out, pops the BKB. Looks like he should be okay to just fly his way out, though. No, here comes God King onto X-Nova. No Mana Void. He'll cancel it. They're not interested quite yet. Just back to farming. And interestingly enough, this is what I haven't seen from this AM quite yet. He's going for Vladimir's offering.
Yeah, again, later timing than we would expect to normally see from the God King odd build, but, you know, if it works for him, he's got to have the confidence in backing it through thick and thin. Got another TP coming through there. They're going to spot him out. They've got this vision, but blinks away just in time.
It's just beautiful play from LGD, though. They're just really playing cat and mouse with this AM right now, and it's working very nicely. Their net worth lead now 12k the way of LGD. And the space just keeps getting smaller and smaller for SAG to try and secure any kind of gold. And in fact, they're going top lane again where they'll see OP God.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
No, Somnus back into the mid-tier 2. He has plenty of damage with that MKB up and just wants to start pressuring towers. Chalice will join him as well with a fresh S&Y now up on the Ursa.
Yeah, LGD want to be able to make a fight happen now. They've still got 30 seconds left on this Aegis. They've got the MKB finished up.
Radiant's middle
But
tower has
I think maybe they'll be happy enough with the tier 2. Still, though,
fallen. Dire's top
it's ominous.
tower is under attack.
You just have to take it. they'll just get back to farming for a bit longer. Get those Abyssal Blades up on Somnus and Chalice. Basically, both of them going for the exact same build, apart from that Echo Saber and SNY. Well, Chalice, he'll come back up towards that top lane. Keep clearing out those waves. Don't allow God King to take down those tier 2 towers.
Yeah, and that forces him back. I'm sure he would love to stay up on this top side of the map, which is going to continue pushing in on its own now towards that additional objective that LGD want to take.
But now a smoke's out from SAG. Are they going to find anything, though?
Yeah, who's going to catch who? Old 11, he's underneath this observer ward.
There's his whole team behind him, though. They're all smoked up.
Oh.
Arena, oh, it's going to be nice. He caught 3 of them with the Nether Toxin on top, all of them. They do get the Fisher out. Now FY commits the Echo, but he does go down right afterwards. OP God getting very low, however, Hand of God comes in, but it's not enough. Red Panda also dead, and there's DD going down as well to the Monkey King. It's only Felix left on the Rubik and the AM being played by God King, but Felix is gone as well. The only man out of there is God King himself, and he was damn close to dying.
Yeah, he had 9 Fury Swipe stacks on top of him, so he's going to continue to run. Could have even been caught out there by Somnus if he was in the wrong position, but he's just gone for this greedy farm. He's going to be able to secure a kill onto a courier, but he just needs to get out of dodge right now. I mean, you can't have hoped for much of a better start for a team fight for Sparking Arrow, right? They all walked up together, 3 heroes, including the Earthshaker, and they got caught in the Arena of Blood, they got speared. Godkins might be in trouble, though.
Oh, he might be. He'll just actually farm in front of them. I don't think he's too concerned knowing that the lasso is down, and he'll just blink out of there. Of course, he'll paint the river, as he always does, and gets back to his job, but now they're pincering him in. LGD, they're not done with him yet. He'll show himself again at the wave.
He's got TP, though.
They're on the chase. Oh, he just blinks
Spidey
straight in.
sense.
Lasso is there. LGD, they knew. They'll jump in, control him up, and he is going nowhere but back to the graveyard.
He's got buyback, luckily for him, but waves pushing in topside. They can't take this 2-2 tower just yet. Roshan could be up in 50 seconds, but well, it's a little bit of a reprieve of Sarking Arrow, but it's still a 17k net worth lead right now. And, you know, not to harp on about it again, but area control. They were fighting at the top of these little stairs. There's not really anywhere for them to run. I think basically all of Sparking Arrow were just standing inside that full Monkey King ultimate. And yeah, not much they could do.
It's hard in that Wukong's command when Somnus is already hitting that hard. And now, of course, right on time, Chalice will get himself the Paladin Sword, because they needed it, with that 18k net worth lead on LGD, and well, things are only getting worse. In fact, what's Dota Plus saying?
It's looking pretty bad.
Yep.
Mars
Bot lane.
getting dived.
Somnus jumping in. He's by himself right now. He's got X-Nova coming in. Somnus does lose quite a bit of HP, but doesn't panic. Still has the BKB up. Still's got 20 stick charges. He'll be just fine.
And now they don't need to worry about the Arena of Blood for the next minute.
It's a good feeling. There's no real rush for LGD either. Like, they're not trying to make a very forceful kind of high ground push. As long as they control the map, they're more than happy to just keep this net worth advantage going up. And although God King is slowly but surely getting some item progression going on that AM, it's just nowhere near fast enough this time.
No, and normally when I see his Halberd build, I'm like, huh, you know, that's interesting. I guess it's good for the HP regen and lifesteal amp and the status resist, but it's not always that you get maximum effectiveness out of the enemy core heroes. This time around, though, Monkey King and Ursa, you love it.
Lasso is there. Somnus, he had his tree broken by FY. The Echo comes in, however. It won't matter. Somnus will be there to help out. They do get DD. Now trying to go after God King, but he'll be alright to blink out. Still Old 11 making the chase, but he will be alright. I can't say the same for the rest, though. Somnus is on top of that Chen. Red Panda will die now. And they are going to go high ground.
Man, he's endangered by this point, Red Panda.
There's a bit of a funny moment there as well, because FY used the spider legs to run through the tree line, but Somnus was standing on one of the trees. I thought that could have been a bit of a disaster for them in that moment, but it luckily for Somnus, it wasn't that long of a stun, as the lasso was there from Old 11, and Well, now they're going to go back into that Roshan pit and just secure another Aegis for themselves.
God King, he's pushed the top lane in, so I don't think that's too big of a concern. You've got a siege creep, sure, but Roshan is the much more important objective right now. He's going to continue farming up this bottom side. What's he going into next? Looks like a Manta style.
That on that AM, yeah, it should be.
I was hoping a little bit that X-Noble was going to complete the... What do you call it? Like, you know, there's like a trifecta is the 3. What do you call it when there's 5 people doing it? A quinfecta?
No, isn't Quinn 4? I thought...
No, that's quad.
Okay, yeah, okay, quad. Isn't it penta? 5?
Yeah, okay, sure.
I think...
Pentafecta. Well,
Thank
they
you.
found out the Ursa.
Arena is going to be down. They do end up just disrupting Chalice. Now Chalice wants to go back in. A lot of LGD are coming in though. This could be dangerous. FY, another great Fisher out, and now the lasso as well on the back lines. They caught out OP God. And X-Nova gets Red Panda. There's God King going down as well. Everyone just getting decimated. LGD are not giving any breathing room away. And SAG, you kind of wonder how they bring this game back now. They're just 25k net worth behind.
And it's not like the previous series, right, where they were that far behind with the Rapier. No. They're just that far behind. And no buyback on the anti-mage either. Absolute disaster. No glyph available for themselves for the next 3 minutes. They could honestly just go straight throne, or maybe go for the safer play. They have enough of an advantage that the passive pressure that can be put on by super creeps is going to be enough.
They could go bot lane as well and go for the secondary racks, and
Yeah,
that's what
I
they're
think
doing.
that's fine. Even just the tier 3.
You got 2 Abyssals up as well now. Like, Somnus and Chalice both have 1 up each, and Lasso gonna be there, though disruption is quick from Felix. Is it gonna be enough? Probably not. OP God, he's just surrounded right now. A great Fisher, but there's FY jumping into the back line, getting an echo up, and setting up more kills to happen here from LGD. DD's trying to make a run for it, but he is surrounded. They jump in, and the GG has been called. They have had enough. And LGD...
Please, no more.
They forced to a game number 3.
And that was very convincing from LGD, it has to be said, right? Like the maneuvering of the lanes, it just felt like when Somnus came out of an off-lane situation in a more advantageous position than the anti-mage, it was looking pretty solid for LGD.
Always the greatest news after a game ends. The coordinator's down, so see how that one goes.
Yeah.
It's no, look, it's given me the game results. So this is the game that just went past. So it looks like it did reconnect quick enough. All right, so we are going to a game 3. Luckily enough for us, Danog, we love seeing these game number 3s. This time around, your prediction was wrong, and you peer pressured me into making my prediction wrong as well, sir. So I'm never believing you again. And game 3, we will go at war to just try and see who is really right in all this.
It's a win for me if nobody wins, that's for sure.
With that, it is MLP Danog and it's Danog. We'll be right back in about 10 minutes for that game number 3.